Hey, beautiful, Monique Head here. And since Thanksgiving is right around the corner, I want to talk about the 5 games that women often play in order to avoid asserting themselves. So I say this because since the holidays are approaching, you might be triggered because this is something that I'm noticing within myself. You might be triggered if you're hosting Thanksgiving, right, and you feel the obligation of cooking, or maybe family is going to be in town, or you're single and you're tired of people wondering why you're not married yet, when you're going to have a baby, or whatever it is. And so, because of that, women like us can often go into this game playing rather than speaking from a place of confidence and power. And speaking in a way that's going to reach people rather than repel them, or really to our own detriment, and act in a way that's really self-abandoning or self-betraying. So I have my 5 cards here, and I want, as I'm reading this, the 5 games that women play. Is it 5 I have here? Yeah. 5 games, the games that women play to avoid asserting themselves. And they come from a book. Let me get it real quick. They come from this book. It's called, it's called The New Assertive Woman. And I found this book at an estate sale, and I was kind of in the basement rummaging through the books because I love estate sales. And I looked at the back, and it was really number 3. The title of the book is "Games Women Play to Avoid Asserting Themselves" by Lynn Bloom and some other authors, Karen Coburn and Joan Perlman. Now, if you decide to read this book, I haven't finished all of it. It is very white woman centric. So I say that to say it was written in the 70s. So you want to separate the good from the bad and adhere to what's good. Okay. So that's really what discernment is all about. So let's go ahead and get into it. Number 1, do you identify yourself as the sufferer? Okay. The sufferer is the woman who does what everyone refuses to do and then resents it, right? So she puts other people before her, and subordinates basically her own desires, and feels like, no one does for me, I'm doing it for everyone else. Da 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 da. Is that you? That's the sufferer. The second game that women play is called uninvolved. The uninvolved woman. Let me see that. So the uninvolved woman will say something like, whatever you want to do, it really doesn't matter to me. Let's say that, some guy calls you up and wants to go to the movies, but you had plans after work to wash your hair, to get some food, and maybe go to the gym. And so he's asking you, and he's like, well, hey, how about we go see this, I don't even know, some Western movie. And you're like, you don't even like Westerns, but you're like, yeah, okay, whatever is fine. But you're not really enthusiastic about it, right? So if you can identify with that, if you can identify, well, it doesn't matter to me, whatever you want to do, you're playing this uninvolvement game, which means that you're avoiding asserting yourself and what you want. And oftentimes that can happen because we don't want to seem really antagonistic to another person. The second or the third game that women play, this is called the wet blanket, according to the author. And the wet blanket usually says, I won't I won't fight you, but I won't give you the satisfaction either. So she hopes that people will recognize her disapproval and then plead with her for her to tell other people how we might accommodate her. Okay, so the book gives an example of a mother living with her son and daughter-in-law, and the daughter-in-law wants to decorate, and she's like, well, hey, I'm thinking about getting, new pillowcases. And so the mom was like, is it cotton? And she's like, no, well, they'll mess up, they'll shrink, they get dirty. Are you going to put it on the floor? Well, they'll lose their appeal. Without really offering suggestions, without really being a problem solver. It's just kind of like, not giving people their props. That's what the wet blanket is. You're just kind of in the middle. The fourth game that women play is called the saboteur. So this woman basically comes from this mindset of, if I don't get what I want, you better watch out because I might get even. Or I won't give you what you want, or I'll give you what you want right now, and I'll silently accept this request, but best believe I'm gonna be coming for you on the back end. Okay, so her mindset, her game plan is all about making people pay about the problem. So do you identify with that, right? How might this come up as the holiday season is approaching? And then the last game is called the Seductress. Poor little me needs big old handsome strong you, and the seductress uses her sexual prowess in order to get for non-sexual acts, basically to get what she wants without, again, being clear. All of these 4 or 5 games that women play are all about hinting and hoping and not coming from this place of powerful feminine communication. Which one do I see myself as? Which one can I identify with? Whew. Well, depending on the time of the day, definitely the saboteur, the sufferer, not the wet blanket, because I give people props. One, let me put these in order. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, either the sufferer or the saboteur. I'm gonna make you pay, right? That was my come from. It's like, I'm doing a lot. Why is everyone asking me to do all of this? And once I had gotten into the mindset, especially now, because my mom is here, right? She's here for 2 weeks, and I'm so happy to have her. But even before coming here, and if your mom is still around, you can just imagine the friction that can happen of, oh, your hair is not right, or whatever it is. And so I found myself becoming really tense and really stressed. But what I had to do, because I found myself in this sort of sufferer mode, I found myself in this sufferer mode, and I had to ask myself, you know what, how is God using me in this moment to love an imperfect person? And that is something that I have to ask myself, especially, as a married woman, as a daughter, as a sister. All of these questions have to come up. How is God? And this is what I want you to ask yourself. So you have a twofold assignment. Number one, which one of these games do you identify with? Okay. Are you the sufferer? Are you the uninvolved? Are you the wet blanket? Are you the saboteur? Or are you the seductress? So identify that. And then I want you to get clear on, what is the outcome that I want? Because you'll know how this shows up in your body. What's the outcome that you want? And then you want to act in a way that is going to be favorable to that outcome. For me, so that I don't go into the saboteur, it's all about, well, how is God using me in this moment to love an imperfect person? Okay, so if this is helpful to you, I want to offer you a complimentary video training series. It's called Be the Woman Who Gets Everything That She Wants, especially for men. You can go ahead and click the link below, or you can find it right here on eCAD. See you in the next video. Take care. Bye.